Chairman, Mr. Chairman, when I came in 2015, I never did a maiden speech, but I thought that maybe for this hearing, this will be kind of a replacement for it.
All right.
For you all, I thank you for being here, Ms. Allen. FedEx was a client of mine back in the 1980s. I spent a lot of time in Memphis, and every time I was there, I spent a lot of time at Rendezvous, too, getting some good ribs. Mr. Pickle, I know your name's not spelled exactly right, but when you get a chance, you ought to take a trip to Mount Olive, center of the pickle universe, and Mount Olive pickles. And to the other witnesses, thank you all. My family has a proud tradition of labor membership. I have a brother-in-law who started at Fruit Growers Express and retired from CSX, and another brother-in-law who just recently retired from CSX, and other families. And Mr. Pickle, I spent about 10 years of my career as a partner at Price Waterhouse in global supply chain management, strategic sourcing, offshoring when we had to. And I think we have a great opportunity ahead of us. I've heard a lot of great ideas from members here on this committee, and I do think the focus needs to be on China. There are other bad actors. Actually, we have allies who are bad actors. But I hope that we can have a broader view. I'll give you an idea of how I think we need to go against China and have them notice a whole of government, a whole of Congress approach across many committee jurisdictions. Last week, I met with the DEA, and the transnational criminal organizations have completely changed the game on how they launder money. They don't go to semi-sophisticated people carrying cash around. They go to a global network of banking entities that are moving across this globe and laundering billions of dollars, known entities that the DEA knows. We need to be able to track them down, and we can do that in the Banking Committee, maybe here in Finance. I have two companies headquartered in North Carolina, Nucor Steel, which is not a union shop, but a very well-regarded steel producer, that are being ripped off every single day of the year for the last decades. And I've seen some of our partners have bad behavior in dumping illegal steel here in this country. Charlotte Pipe, Mr. Chairman, is a family-owned business in downtown Charlotte that has a very sophisticated business but still maintains its old-time foundry image. You can go to a province in China, and they have like a Hollywood movie set. It looks just like Charlotte Pipe. It's called Charlotte Pipe. They print Charlotte Pipe on it, and they dump it in this country and other countries. They're one of the biggest producers of pipes in the United States. But I think we need to let China know we know what they're doing. I have a friend, Enes Kanter Freedom. He was an NBA standout who basically got fired by the NBA because he stood up against the issue of human rights against the Uyghurs. We need to let them know that they are benefiting from literally slave labor and forced imprisonment. We need to let them know that they are exploiting our financial system. We need to let them know that they're making it unfair for union labor to actually compete on a level playing field. Can we get all of the links in the supply chain back? Absolutely not. And even if we could, we may want to think strategically about countries that we do want to have strong trading partners with, especially in this hemisphere. We need to make sure that we have 4 or 5 green lanes coming across all of our land ports of entry in Mexico to increase commercial traffic there and to get them through here, but also know that China is sending precursors to Mexico and poisoning hundreds of thousands of people across the globe and killing about 100,000 people from opioids, fentanyl. We need to let them know we know this. And the best way we can do that is have a coordinated effort with the House and the Senate and the committees of jurisdiction to say, we got you. We're going to match you on trade, we're going to compete fairly, and we're going to move supply chain links out of China to countries we can rely on. And we can't forget how we saw those supply chains break down with COVID. So I think that this is a great opportunity, and I believe that there's a huge bipartisan base of people here to vote on it. If we have the hearings and we have the markups, we can send a message to China that's going to benefit the free world, and it's going to benefit free markets. So you all can count me in. We'll make sure that we're in touch with you all. You can count me in on listening to your priorities, because many of everything I heard in your opening testimony was spot on. count me in to help. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
That was some kind of maiden speech. I'm telling you.
2 seconds over.
Well said, Senator Tillis. And for all our guests, you really heard just now a capsulized summary of what this is all about, and particularly the call for some bipartisanship.